Say two things. The first is that I think the holidays are, in some large part, about family and what family does to you. And second, I want to say that I need to steal a line from Mike Birbiglia before I tell this story and say that I want you all to understand that in this story, you are on my side. Okay. So this is a story about how I became annoying. And the way that I became annoying is that I discovered that Santa Claus was not real. And the way that I discovered this was that my father, for complex and boring reasons of logistics, had to take me to the music store to buy my Christmas present, which was a keyboard that was programmable, and this was the 80s, so this was very cool, because you could play a melody and then play it back by hitting a key. And he wanted to encourage me to be a musician, and my family, when I was 7 years old, they were about a year out of being so broke that we were having tag sales to do grocery shopping, and this thing cost $80, which to me was a fortune, and my father said that he was getting it for my mom, which was a lie, like Santa Claus. And so that Christmas, I came out of my room in our two-bedroom apartment, which was a one-bedroom apartment with a wall set up between myself and my parents, and there were all these presents, and I opened them, and finally there was this large thing that said to Ryan from Santa, but it was the keyboard, and I knew where the keyboard had come from, and I had been told it was for my mother, and everything was a lie, and I was really happy about the keyboard, so I took it out and looked at my parents with the glare of a 7-year-old enraged, and I walked into my bedroom with the keyboard and did not speak to them or thank them. And so like 5 minutes later of me plunking, they came in and asked me what was wrong, and I told them they were liars. And they'd been lying to me throughout my whole childhood, and that this was not okay. And we talk in teaching about this idea sometimes called neuroplasticity, which basically means that you are not necessarily what you're going to become until circumstances activate genes in you. And this is the thing that activated the materialism gene. And here's why this is a problem. This is a problem because sometimes, for example, I am with a woman that I would like to be dating, and she is beautiful, and I take her to the third largest sycamore in New England, which is in Sunderland, Massachusetts. And it is an amazing object. It is I don't know, maybe 100-foot tall tree with branches that look like somebody has grafted other large trees onto it. And you see this thing and you think, nature is amazing and beautiful, and I want very much to connect with and be a part of it. And so this is a good thing to show to women that you are dating for these reasons. And so I take this woman there, and she, hugs the tree and is happy, and we take pictures, and she's delighted by the fact that it is very tall and she seems very tiny next to it, and we have these photographs, and we get back into the car because there's only so much conversation you can have about a tree at the end of the day. And we're driving off to the next part of our adventure, and she says, what I love about that tree is its spirit was so strong. And I say, yeah, but she can see it in my eye that I do not believe that trees have spirit. She could tell because she's smart, which is why I liked her in the first place. But damn it, because now we're going to have this conversation. And she starts, and she shouldn't, because I think, I should be able to control my behavior, but I can't. She says, what? And I say, nothing. And she says, you don't think the tree has a spirit? And I say, I do. I think the tree is very spiritual, which is not the same. And she knows. And eventually, slowly, through the awkward horribleness of this conversation that I have now suffered through probably 1,000 times in my life, I am reduced to saying, there aren't spirits. It isn't real. Things that you can't have any evidence for are not there. You You just have to appreciate the tree for being beautiful. I have a minute? And so, while this conversation has ruined many dates, and while this is all Santa Claus's fault, I want to end this story by saying that I did get a keyboard from my parents who sacrificed a lot to give it to me. And I did learn to make music, and I did learn to be generous, and I did very much learn to care about the people I love. And so in the end, despite the irritation, it was worth it. Thank you.